Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Omar FS. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys so many things you need to know about Forex, right? So many people have been like, index and Forex, are they actually working the same way? Yes, they work the same way, but on a different method, which is something I might do a video for you guys to come to understand about it. But right now, I'm going to be talking about Forex, right? So at the same time, I'm going to be saying thanks to the subscribers. We're able to get to about 100 and something subscribe, right? So actually, I'm not taking this account serious because I have many things doing, but I promise you guys I'm gonna be giving you guys updates on things you need to know and how Forex is working, right? So firstly, we're gonna be showing you the recaps on how we made a nice trade on gold and GBP USD and Hero USD, right? And at the same time, I'm gonna be dropping my channel, my WhatsApp channel link on the description. Do it to subscribe, join the channel so you can be getting free signal. And if you actually want to join my mentorship class, give a comment and I'll send you a number where you can DM me privately and we'll talk about it, right? So right now we're gonna be diving straight to the point and what we are here for, right? So let's go over to the chat and I'm gonna be showing you guys what you need to know about Forex.
Right here I'm going to be showing you guys the trade I took last week, the three pairs I traded last week that gave me around $15,000. Last week I took three pairs that gave me $50,000. Each one was giving me around $5,000. I took gold and I actually took GBP USD and Hero USD. So I'm going to be showing you guys the recaps and how I was able to catch them and how I knew the market is going to be moving to the direction, right? So before we further up, before we continue, I would love you guys to subscribe if you're new on the channel. Like if you're just joining my channel new, do it to subscribe and always be active to watch videos whenever I drop, so to get more updates about this Forex over 10, right? So now let's go over to the chart. You can see I think today is been um Wednesday, March 19, right? So this trade was actually last week, right? This is on gold right now. We are starting from gold right now. So this was actually last week trade that I took, right? So this is last week, I guess. Yeah, this is last week. So let's go over and let me show you guys how I knew that market is going to be buying from this zone, right? So I started my top down analysis from my weekly time frame, right? So right here on the weekly time frame, what can you see right there? I know it's going to be a bit confusing. That's why I said you can actually pay for mentorship, and I'm going to be teaching you guys a lot, right? So if you need the mentorship courses and the information on how to become a student, you can actually give a DM. You can actually drop a comment, and then I'll give you a number you can DM privately, and we're gonna be discussing on how you can start learning and how you can start the payment. So right now you can see what we got here. Let me show you guys how I was able to catch this particular trade. You can see that we're actually bullish. On the first place, we were bullish, right? So suddenly we have a bearish push down, right? Market broke down this range, right? So making me believing that we are going to be selling, right? Due to what? We have a strong bearish engulfing candle that engulfed the body candle of the bullish that we have right there, right? So market engulfed and making me believe that we are going to be selling from the next candle, the next week that is coming up, right? So what we have here, I allow the next week candle to play so I can actually understand what the market is going to be talking about, because I actually expect market to actually sell once it gets to this resistance, because this is actually a resistance on a lower time frame, right? So I was expecting market to sell once it gets to this resistance, but at the same time we're wanting to buy from the down to the upside so we can sell to the downside. But what did I notice here? Market was actually bullish. Strong bullish candle came out and closed inside the range, as you can see right there, giving it a support. That means we are having two debates right here, two different debates where we are having a resistance and we are having a support, right? So which one are you thinking is going to be working? And remember that this candles is actually a weak candle. Like each candle right here is actually simplifying weekly, right? So what I need to do right there was that since market closed bearish on the first candle, the second candle now closed bullish inside, giving us a neat, you can see this is a neat support. And if you don't know how to mark out support, this is let me use these tools. Let me use these tools. Sorry, what? Why is it not clicking? It's not actually clicking. Okay. Now I have what they call an open and close candle. Open and close candle, which is these two candle right here, right? So this was the candle I used to understand the move the market is going to be giving us um, next week, which was the last week we just passed, right? So this is actually the current week we are running on, this candle. And you can see that this candle right here was the last week. This was the last week. I want you guys to be very current on what we're doing. So I stepped down to the daily time frame, and daily is actually showing me a nice move and what I need to do right here. On my strategy, what I trade is supply and demand. And supply and demand is a simple thing that I always love looking at for, and also following the price action, I can actually simplify what the market is going to be doing next. So just give me a few minutes of your time. You're going to be learning a lot from this particular video. And if you not understand, if you think you don't understand what I'm saying, join the WhatsApp channel on the description. The link is going to be there, so you can be getting more informations and come to understand it more far better, right? So what can you understand here? We have a sweep of liquidity on the daily time frame, right? So let me be marking out these for you guys. um this is a draw of liquidity, right? Swept the liquidity right there. Okay, hold on. The liquidity was swept. I didn't draw it well, but this is, you guys actually understand what I'm saying. People actually following knows what I'm saying about. Okay, so this is draw on liquidity. This is liquidity sweep or draw on liquidity, whichever you want you feel like calling. So right, so I have it right there. And what the market did next after sweeping the liquidity on daily time frame, uh, what we have next was a rally to the upside, and you can see we have a strong engulfing candle that engulfing this bearish candle to the upside, simplifying a clear bullish momentum coming into the trade. All right, so remember this is daily time frame. And what do you see here? After the engulfing candle, we have the first, this is I think this is 1 2 3 4 5, right? So the last trade, the last candle was where we started looking at for buys, right? So I didn't take any trade on these short sales right here. All I was looking out for is the larger buys, like the larger movement. That was what I was waiting for to give me a sharp move, right? So right now I already know the bias of the trend. I already know that market is going to be going to the upside. I don't need to be looking out for sales uh, on this very trade, on this very good. All I need to be looking out for is buys, right? So then I step down to the lower time frame, like 1 hour time frame, and start looking out for my entry. And what I do when I get down to the lower time frame, I just look out for close by liquidities, where the market is actually going to be looking out to take out the liquidities and go to the upside, right? So on the 1 hour with the line here, you can see that this is from the weekly. That is the most strong higher time frame, right? So it's coming from the weekly. So since it's coming from the weekly, I just looked out for the close by liquidities. And you can see what the market have here. We have a chop up here, we have a consolidation range here, and this is liquidity. So I waited for market to get to that zone. Immediately market tapped into that zone, sweeping the liquidities. When it's sweeping the liquidities, I started taking my buys right there, taking my positions right there. And I think the positions I took on this particular gold was around 7 positions on the same pair, like the same one gold. I took like 7 positions with good loss size that gave me about $5,000 from this very trade. Forex is actually good. Forex pays a lot if you actually know and practice a strategy that repeats itself, right? So find the bias of the trend can actually help you a lot in your winning rate, right? So this is how we cut a trade on gold, right? Giving us about $5,000, right? And I believe all this candle happening here is actually a new week. This is actually a new week, right? I might do you guys a favor by coming back to analyze what the market is still gonna be doing on gold, right? So right now, let's go over to GBP USD or Euro. Okay, let's go first to Euro USD. You see, they are almost looking like something right here, almost looking like something. I think we took a sell on this very pair, right? Yeah, I think it's a sell, right? Okay, like this is it. This is the sell we took on Euro USD, right? So let me make a recap as well how we took this sharp sell, right? So on Euro USD, you can see it has been very long I came on Euro USD, but I'm just trying to like make a recap, showing you guys the trades I took. You can see that after this very zone, I never took any trade again to this very up or this very level right now. Towards I think like 2 weeks right now, I've not been on this very Euro USD, but I have a trade I took before then. So right now that's what I'm trying to show you guys how I took the trade, right? So firstly, you can see right here we have a resistance right here, and market is actually on a bearish trend, and we have a resistance, we have inducement that have been taken out, or you can call here a supply, whichever one you feel like calling it, right? So market gets to that zone. Immediately market gets to that zone, all I needed to do is to go over to the lower time frames to look out for entries. Oh my god, I've really missed so many trades. Yeah, guys, don't blame me. I'm busy. I'm always busy. I have some contract I'm running right here, and I have students to teach. So I'm busy, 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 right? So right now you can see what the market is actually showing us right here, and this was the resistance or the supply we marked out from the daily time frame. If you want me to break down how I analyzed this to take a sniper entry, pay for mentorship, join my mentorship class group, and get more information. So I'm here to show you guys just a recap and how it works, right? So right here we have the market getting to our zone and tapped in the first time, made a little sell, and assuming market sells so heavily, I don't think I'm gonna be taking any trade. But to the greatest surprise, market came back to the zone I was expecting, which was the lower time frame higher resistance or the supply zone on the lower time frame. So I took my sales from there, rally down to about let me check how many pips will run down to before trying to make a little pullback. Okay, here we got about 145 pips run, right? So market gets to that zone. What I did was I broke even to this zone, around this zone, right? I broke even to around this zone, then look out for another entry, which was this zone right here. There I took another entry from this zone. They will sell massively to this zone, and we have news right here, news back down to the zone right there, hitting our support or demand zone, right? So from there we started rallying to the upside. I didn't take any trade from here, and which you can see right here. And I think the same thing happens on GBP USD. I didn't took any trade apart from the one I took last. Oh my god, I really missed so many trades right here. Okay, so this is the trade I took last week. I mean last of my, yeah, this is last week or last of my week's trade I took, and this is how I will cut the trade right here. So a simple analyzing, just know the bias of the trend. That's all you need. The bias of the trend can actually simplify what the market is going to be doing. So what do we see here? We have a breakout block, right? A golfing candle that broke out the trend, right? So what do you understand here? Here was actually giving us a resistance form, which some people were actually looking at for sales right here, and the whole body candles here was engulfed, right? So after the engulfing candle, what did you notice? So since you have an engulfing candle, you just need to like mark out the close by zone you were expecting market to get to before going to the downside, right? So I marked out this supply or resistance as level, whichever you feel like calling it. I call this supply, you can actually call it resistance as well. So I marked out that zone, then I step down to the lower time frame to take my entrance. I get down to the 1 hour time frame, searching for my entry. There, what do you have now? This was the resistance from the higher time frame, and this is the breakout, right? We have a breakout right here, and market came back into that zone, and this was the last bearish candle we have. Taking out the low of the last bearish candle, I took a buy from there. Right there, my stop loss is not that big. Took a buy from there. From there, we rallied up to the opposite side. I actually marked out, right? So giving us about 1 is to 26, right? 1 is to 26 pips right there, right? And that's a nice trade. And I thank God that this strategy works very well for me, right? So you can see how I use this very movement to actually take a nice trade, right? And this is not one, this is not two, and this is not three. And this particular movement repeats itself. Like this very strategy gives you a particular thing that repeats itself, and you don't need to worry. Once you come to your system, if you see your setup, just take a buy. If you see it on a buy, take a buy. If you see it on a sell, you take a sell. Just make out time to analyze your market, to calm down, find out the bias of the trend. Okay, so right now, this is Wednesday. Let me check if I can analyze any markets right now. Normally, I like analyzing market from the starting of the week, so to understand the movement, right? Starting of the week is always nice for analyzing the pair, right? So right now, let's look on the weekly time frame. Okay, now just like what I said, starting from the week is always nice. You can see the markets closed bullish right there. And what did you notice? The next candle closed bullish as well and rejected this range, right? Rejected by closing inside this very bearish candle, this very bullish candle, sorry. So the next week, which is this week we are running on right now, is running up and still at the same time rejecting this range. So what do you need to look out for? To look out to see if there's any range market is kind of like looking out to sell from, right? So are we expecting this range? Yeah, this is a range right now. So all you need to do is to mark out this range, which we have here. After marking out the range, look out to see what is going to look like soon, right? So all we need to do is step down. This is weekly. You step down to daily to see what it looks like in daily, right? So in daily, what do you see, or what should I say, what did you understand right here? So you can understand that market is actually showing us that it's showing us a strength of bearish that is thinking of selling right there. So thinking of selling right here, we need this very candle to close. You understand? Close bearish for us. If market close bearish for us, it means we have formed a supply or actually a resistance for us to sell from, right? I'm not going to be marking out those tips right now. If you need the updates, you DM me so you get your class ready for yourself to start being profitable, right? So this is all I'm going to be showing you guys for GBP USD, and let me check out on code for you guys. Okay, God is so simple. God is very simple. Okay, so we are still pushing up massively, no rejection, right? But I'm expecting market to come down to somewhere around this zone, so we'll continue the trend to the upside. This is weekly, right? So it all depends. Let's just watch and see. Okay, you can see the daily is actually having a little rejection right there. So we still have Thursday and Friday. By the next week we need to sell down, right? Need to sell down. So that's all. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on the notification button so YouTube can get you notified whenever I drop my videos, right? So stay tuned and be blessed. Thank you.